Wrestling on weed.
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 Wrestling on weed. Subscribe today. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Mr. HD, in the building. We got a late night stream going because I got my son. Y'all know how shit go. When I got my kid over here, we've been having a blast all day. I am tired, but we still have a lot, and I mean a lot. I'm not even going to get through it all. It's too much wrestling news right now for me to try to say I'm going to get through all of it, but I'm going to get through as much of it as I possibly can, because we have a lot of news stories, and I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section, in the chat when you come up in here. Wow Nation was good. Yeah, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video. You know all the good YouTube stuff. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling on Weed. And yeah, let's get into it. Hold on, let me close my window so my sound ain't all messed up. Yeah, man, so we got a lot of news to get through. Obviously, there's some big stories. We're on the road to WrestleMania right now, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to, the build to Mania and what's going on with that. But obviously, coming off of Monday Night Raw, we're going to get into that hellacious promo. I don't want to call it promo battle, but more like two best friends or two good friends speaking to each other, trying to encourage each other, or one friend trying to encourage the other. It was some of the best wrestling TV we've got to see, and it's because of Sami Zayn, man. His acting ability and this storyline that he's involved in with the Bloodline and now Cody Rhodes is just something like we've probably never seen before. Amazing long-term booking, but. Before we get into that, let's get through all of these news stories because there is a lot. I think the biggest news story on this Tuesday, February 14th, happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. If you celebrate, I don't. Fuck that shit. Just a way to get guys to spend money. But yeah, we got to talk about this Cody Rhodes stuff, man, because Cody Rhodes is doing the interview rounds. He's doing WrestleMania press. He's everywhere. He's trying to be the quarterback of the company, as he's so eloquently put. But he was on Ariel Helwani and the MMA Hour, and he was talking about the Brawl Out. They brought it up and what he thought about it and all these different things. And Cody had some things to say, man. He definitely didn't hold back when he said these things. I guess maybe he did hold back, but I just think he was being himself. He was giving his honest answer and opinion, if you ask me. But when asked about it, he revealed how he first found out. He said he woke up the next morning and, he said he had about 63 text messages. So he was very worried that something was said about, he said he was very worried about there was something said about me or Brandy. I did everything I could. I gave a lot. I have great memories at AEW, so I hope it's respected mutually, right? So I was worried. I was like, I hope somebody didn't take a weird shot, something like that. That wasn't the case. It's about this press conference and all that. He went on to talk about the relationship he has with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, talking about how they're differing opinions on, wrestling and how that stuff, he's all about the Crockett stuff and they want to do the New Age stuff, the West Coast stuff. And, he had no problem with it. And said they had a great relationship despite that. He said, I had a great relationship with Matt, Nick, Kenny, and still do. I definitely was tested. It definitely was tested by being young executives. It was tested by having different opinions on wrestling, but our different opinions is what made it strong. That's what made us work. I want to do Crockett and Old School, and they want to do PWG and West Coast, and damn, I loved it. That contention is what made us bond. We're bonded forever because of the things we did. I also had a great relationship with Punk. He was my dinner buddy. They ordered dinner for me at AEW every week. It was one of my management perks or whatever. I don't think he knew, but I just always put it on my tab because I wanted to make sure he was getting something too. So we didn't talk a lot, but I got a great relationship with him. I was so excited to give him back, to get him back. To have him back. And like, even if you remember when he came back, everyone was fired up about that. Everybody. So when I watched it, just for me sitting there, I was not there with some people. There was some people texting me. He said, I remember somebody texted me, man, you're the smartest guy in the room. And I wanted to be right back like, fuck you, man. I don't really feel that way. I feel this thing we built got damaged. I'm not putting any blame on anybody. And he said, sorry, Super Switzerland, because obviously he's kind of playing the middle in the situation, trying to keep all his friends intact, which I respect, man. You ain't got to bury nobody. I mean, I don't, it'd be nice if he said who he thought was right or wrong in the situation, but, he's not at the company anymore. It's not really his place, so he doesn't have to. Gruss, what's cracking? I see you in here, my guy. Thanks for joining the late night stream, my dude. Appreciate you as always in here. Rhodes also went on to note, that he doesn't place blame on about the brawl out on anybody. Although he does believe that the fight took away from the spirit of All Out. He said, I'm not putting any blame on anybody. I just hated seeing that because as the company grows, and I hope it continues to grow, I hope people remember the mission in the first place and why we were there. If you bring in people who don't know the mission, then things like that can happen. I'm not saying he didn't know the mission or anything of that nature, but I was just bummed out. That's how I felt. I was bummed out because I have, you win the title, it's a feather in your cap. You win the Royal Rumble, it's a feather in your cap. Building an alternative wrestling promotion is definitely a feather in the cap. I don't want that to be erased. I don't want that to go away. Plus, there's not as many jobs in wrestling as people think. There's about 1,000 people who work there structurally, infrastructure, and talent. I'm proud of them. I want to make sure they were to feed their families, and that was a situation that was so big and heavy. I don't think it was helpful. I don't know. Maybe you could make it helpful. Maybe you can do something with it. That's how I felt. No heat on Punk, no heat on Matt, Nick, or Kenny, or Tony. I was just bummed out when I saw it. That's not how we envisioned it. The spirit of All In, if you ever lose the spirit, you're lost. I think the spirit was gone in that moment. Doesn't mean can't get back to it, but it was just a bummer. So basically, he was trying to say Punk is an asshole without saying Punk is an asshole because he was trying to be friends with, trying to keep the peace and trying to be, as he said, Super Switzerland. But, he basically said you just won the title and you're up there bitching. Like, you should be happy. It's a feather in your cap. You know what I mean? We got this new wrestling promotion over here we starting, and you coming over here fucking up the vibes. That's not the spirit of the company. That's what he wanted to say, but, he's being super political. I get it. I understand the game. But we all know that Punk was in the wrong for how he handled that. Maybe Kenny, Matt, and Nick, and Ace, and whoever else was involved were wrong with how they reacted or, barging in his room, whatever the details are at this point. I don't even care anymore. I just want to see Punk back and see good wrestling. But, this is, it's still good to hear him finally say something about it and give his inputs, since he was like the guy who started the company, literally his idea. So... it's crazy that he's not there. Like, it's, he's about the main event WrestleMania just 3 years after starting an entirely new wrestling promotion that's still going. That's the number one competition for the WWE right now. And he's still rooting for him, clearly. You know what I mean? He's, he says he doesn't want them to fail. And none of us do, because we understand how important AEW is to the entire wrestling lexicon. We need competition. Wrestling was at its peak. There was 10 million people watching during the Monday Night Wars. So if we're never going to get back to that, I don't think, unless they bring back Sable and and Terry Reynolds, and they start, you know what I mean, just doing all kind of crazy stuff like they were doing, and and I don't even know if teenage boys would be into it that much because they got OnlyFans now, so I don't even. They got Instagram and OnlyFans. Like you couldn't just log on and see, boobs on your TV. You know what I mean, or on or where it wasn't even no smartphones back then. So, all that stuff is more accessible. So I don't even know if there's anything like that they could get to attract an even larger audience in that 18 to 49 demographic. I think, you know, if they ever hit 3 million viewers again on a consistent basis, they will be knocking it out the fucking park. Be clear about that. So, we need that competition, man. We need AEW to have, 800,000 to 1 million people watching on Wednesdays. It'd be nice if they can get some more viewers on Friday, but they're just in a trash time slot. Like who's trying to watch wrestling at 10 o'clock on a Friday night? I mean, if you're at home and you ain't got no plans, then yeah, you're gonna watch it. But if you have any sort of social life, there's a chance you're probably gonna miss a lot of those shows. So it is what it is, but it's good to hear Cody give some kind of, opinion on the situation because obviously it's dominated the wrestling news cycle for 9-10 months. Well, it did for maybe about 4 or 5 months, and then it died down a little bit, and we get these little speckles of news. Gruss said the Attitude Era could never come back. Yeah, you're right about that, bro. Like, there's no way it could ever come back. The Attitude Era was a sweet time before social media took over the world. Yeah, it was like all the stuff you see on social media now you would get on Monday Night Raw. Sable literally came out with a painted on bikini, like handprints, like on her giant boobs. You know what I mean? Like Brock Lesnar's wife. It was a different time back then. You know what I mean? Different time. So, you know, it is what it is. But let's get into our next story. Speaking of Mr. Punk, and the all out brawl out situation. It seems that these guys haven't really mended fences like that. Like there's not a lot of communication, at least positive communication between the two. What do we got here? Meltzer said, this is Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio. He said, a lot of damage was done. There's a lot of mending fences that needs to be done, and there's been no mending of fences at all. It's a big situation because Punk could be back in 2 months. Then there's a decision. What's going to be the big story? How's that go down or doesn't go down, Meltzer said. So here's my thoughts on this. There's one way this goes down. Either Punk stays at home and doesn't return to pro wrestling, or he comes back and he feuds with the Elite and teams with FTR and they do a trios match. And I don't even care who wins. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't even care who wins, honestly. But that's the only thing that can happen. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, you want to do work shoots and all this bullshit all the time? Like, this is the one. Like, these guys need to get on the same page. And they need to get this money because you want to crack 1 million, you want to get to 1.5 and blah, 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 then they need to do that match. At the very least, they need to do CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. And yeah, Gruss, we're going to talk about that next. But yeah, I think CM Punk needs to come back, man. He needs to come back and he needs to feud with the Elite. They can't it's going to be the elephant in the room. They can't just have him come back and not work with the Elite. That's just going to be, they can, but it's just going to be weird because, you might start getting Elite chants when he's out there. You might start getting CM Punk chants when the Elite's out there. Then what are you going to do? So I don't think it's smart if they did bring him back to just brush this off and not use it to, plus the money. Like, why would you not, the money and the ratings? Like, it's just stupid not to use this as a storyline at this point. You know what I mean? It's like if they sitting up there and they getting their panties in a bunch because some words was said and there was a little scuffle. Y'all literally fighters for a living. Like y'all seeing Punk be busting his ass in the ring. Like all these guys like be fucking each other up. Like I know it's scripted, but shit still hurt. So you can't tell me that little brawl got everybody in their feelings so much that they just gonna be like, nah, I don't want this money. I don't think that's a good idea. You know what I mean? I don't think Tony Khan's with the shits because number one, And most importantly, AEW ain't made shit in 3 years. They are still in the red, my niggas. Like, let's be clear. They haven't made a dime. A dime. You know what I mean? In that company in 3 years. Tony Khan just mentioned it. He said he wanted to be making money by year 3, and they still haven't. They're still not a profitable company. We'll see how things go in 2023. But with, Rampage getting 200,000 people watching, it's like 300,000 some people watching last. It's like that ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? And with situations like your biggest ratings draw blowing up the company at a press conference and getting injured over and over again, it's not gonna help, man. It's not gonna help. So we'll see what happens. AEW got to get ROI with yeah, and I mean, they paid him what, $5 million or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's getting a hefty sum of money. Yeah, that's you're right. I mean, just for business purposes, it makes sense to bring him back. You gotta get your money's worth. And he's still gonna be a draw when he comes back. Like, no question about it. He can still cut promos. He can still wrestle his ass off. Like, so there's zero reason to not bring him back, other than the elite or him are still in their feelings and they're being some little immature bitch boys. But they need to get over that shit and get their money. I don't think Warner gonna drop AEW. Like, 800,000, a million viewers is still good. You know what I mean? It's like, that's still better than a lot of shows that they got, in on that Wednesday night time slot. So, it still be like the number, 3, 4, 5, watch show on cable, so or network, whatever. It's on cable, right? TNT. Yeah, so, I don't think Warner gonna drop him. Plus, it's a really good show. You know, if they were just putting out some trash and it's just, then I could see them cutting it. But, plus it's being financed by billionaires. I don't think Warner is really, them getting 1 million people watching that time slot or somewhere around there. You know, Tony Khan and Nick Khan and those guys are, footing the bill. Obviously, they're getting the TV contract or whatever. But yeah, Rampage is trash, bro. Rampage is hot garbage. There is nothing good on that show at all. I'm mad that Swerve be on that shit. I'm like, bruh, why they putting this man on this show? It's like anytime anybody good's over there, I'll be mad. I'll be, mad for him. Like, get this motherfucker off this show. This is worse than WCW Thunder. This is worse. But speaking of Tony Khan and all him, his managerial skills when it comes to drama and finances and everything else, he's out here making himself look like a fool again. I ain't gonna lie. Cause he was just rambling off. He held a meeting heading into All Out where he brought up Mega Perec, chief legal officer, had sent the email to WWE CEO Stephanie McMahon at the time and Nick Khan regarding talent tampering. And it was what it was. Nobody really thought anything about it after that. But he was appearing on the Dan Le Batard show with Stu Gatz. Shout out to Dan Le Batard and Stu Gatz. I don't really watch that show anymore. They got a little too political and soy boyish over there, so I just stopped watching that shit a while ago. But they did a good. They do a good show. Khan was discussing the alleged tampering by WWE, and he noted that a lot of AEW wrestlers told him about tampering. Now, listen to this. He said, I can't really comment on what their internal struggles, internal strifes are because I don't work there and I'm not there. I can only speak to the challenges we've had. I've got a lot of wrestlers who come to me and allege that WWE reached out to them to tamper with their contracts and asked them to break their contracts. I can't confirm that specifically. I can only tell you what the wrestlers have come to me and said, but I've had multiple wrestlers and staff report that to me. It was very disturbing. I've had to go out and try to put on good shows despite this alleged tampering and stuff like that. Frankly, I don't think it stopped us because because the quality of the product and the quality of the shows is at an all-time high right now, Khan said. When he was asked about whether wrestling business is, as dirty as the fight business, he said, the wrestling business is very dirty. I can't speak to the fight business, but certainly I think it's more organized than the fight business. As far as there's two, I think, organized promotions competing with each other. And this is where things, he went off the rails. He went on to say, again, I don't know if these things have happened. I only know what people have come to me and alleged, but I do know it's a real war between AEW and WWE. This is the CEO of the fucking company, just so we're clear, saying that there is a war between AEW and who is he? Eric Bischoff coming out on a motorcycle? Get this man! You don't get this dude off TV. Is he playing a character? I can't tell. Maybe he's trolling me. I don't get it. But he went on to say, I think we truly, truly hate each other, and I think it makes for really exciting TV, and it makes for an exciting wrestling war. Tony Khan got to be the lamest, corniest man. If you don't get this, man, look, this dude's a clown. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, who wants this? Who's asking for this? Like, I don't need a war between AEW and WWE. I just need these motherfuckers to put on good wrestling shows so I can watch them both. Like, I don't need, like, we were annoyed that AEW wrestlers kept referring to WWE town. Like, why y'all got to keep bringing them up? If they don't mean shit to y'all, blah, blah, blah. Triple H calls y'all pissant company. Why you keep bringing them up? Like, it started Cody smashing the throne and all this crazy shit, and it just continued from there. And it's just like, why the fuck would Tony Khan think they're coming out and acknowledging or trying to drum up some drama, talking about, yeah, there's a real war. We really hate each other. Do they realize that there's married couples split up over both companies? Do they not know that? Like, there's literally people who are in relationships with each other on both sides, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Or, obviously vice versa. So it's like, I don't know how to take this. This is like, is he 12? He feels like he's a child. Like, I feel like he's a child sometimes, and he's like hasn't totally grown up. Like, he just got all these billions from his daddy, and this wrestling company is just a toy that he's playing with, and he's hiring people to contracts because he got a bunch of money, but not putting them on TV because he doesn't give a fuck about their careers or their, if they're over and how much time they're wasting in their prime. You know what I mean? Lance Archer and all these people, like, it's kind of weird. I think we truly, truly hate each other. I don't think Triple H cares that much about you guys. Like, honestly, like, I think that if he was in control this whole time, you wouldn't have a lot of the talent that you have. Like, honestly, he might have let Daniel Bryan go do all the New Japan stuff. You know what I mean? He might have been letting Daniel Bryan wrestle all the NXT talent and all the best wrestlers that he wants to wrestle. You might not have Dean Ambrose if it wasn't for Vince McMahon, or Moxley. So it's just, to me, this just seems a little childish, man. Like, he's trying to drum up some drama for no reason. Everybody's talking to everybody, bro. All these wrestlers are friends. So any conversation that they have could be considered tampering. Like, literally any conversation that they have between wrestlers. Hey, what you guys doing over there? Hey, man, what you guys doing over there? I mean, we doing this. Yeah, I mean, it's dope over here. We like, oh, man, this is for real. It's tampering. It's tampering. Like, no, it's not. That's not tampering, man. You can't. And I wouldn't doubt that Triple H has reached out to some people, the Renee Youngs and possibly the John Moxleys and, trying to get Bryan Danielson back and different people like that, but just keeping them on the line. Like, you sure you good? You know what I mean? Things different over here. I mean, just let me know. You know what I mean? But it's just weird to even say that a bunch of talent, because then you put them on blast, because if it's true, WWE know who they talk to. So now Triple H looking at them like, oh, they snitching? They running back to the boss? It's just so much weird shit. Like, this ain't something, I don't know if this is, I mean, you could put it out there if you're trying to protect your company. I get it. Maybe he is really scared of some tampering and people wanting to go back to WWE, FTR, and stuff like that, who could definitely be one of the groups. one of the people he's talking about, FTR being. But I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know what to think about this. I just don't think it's a good look for Tony Khan to be out here being this childish and trying to start a wrestling war. That's not really what the fans want. Is that what y'all want? Y'all can let me know. Chat, y'all can let me know if y'all want a wrestling war. KGM was cracking. Wild Nation in the building. Blue Wrench Gang in here. I see you guys, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, we late night streaming on Valentine's Day. Fuck Valentine's Day, man. But but I got 3 Happy Valentine's Day texts and I answered none of them. Dead ass. Not even joking. I ain't celebrate that shit no more. But yeah, so Tony Khan needs to chill. This is like the 17th thing that he's done that's just been on some super corny shit. It's just I just don't understand why he thinks that it's necessary to come out here and say these things. It's gonna be a really real wrestling war. We really, really hate each other. Bruh, half of your wrestling, who is the we part? What's the we? Who's the we? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, who is the we? Is it just you and your multiple personalities? You know what I mean? Because I don't think the wrestlers hate each other. Like, they're all friends. They all know each other. They be rooting for each other. Like, openly on the internet, on Twitter. Like, they watch each other's shows and matches. So, I mean, people commenting on everything Cody Rhodes do over in, all his friends from AEW and, vice versa with some stuff that happens over. Like, it's weird, man. I don't understand. I just got back from Juicy Crab eating shrimp and lobster. Nice, nice, nice. Shrimp and lobster are always a good move. Me and my son ate steak and potatoes tonight. You know what I mean? He ate steak for the first time, and I was terrified because I saw a baby choke on some steak on the internet one day, and I was like, I'm never feeding my son steak ever. But I made it medium rare, so it was nice and soft, and I gave him tiny pieces, so we was good. He enjoyed it. Yeah, man, that's Tony Khan trying to drum up some drama. You know what I mean? But he won't comment on CM Punk though. But he'll definitely come out and say there's a wrestling war. Yeah, you know I mean they're tampering, blah blah blah. We hate each other. Those are strong words. Like, I hate my baby mother. Like, I don't think their relationship is the same with WWE. I don't think the relationship is the same. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is what it is. We'll see how these things play out, man. We'll see how they play out. Tony Khan must really hate Ricky Starks. That's a good one. I ain't even I forgot about that. I mean, but Ricky went over there, so I mean, that's not technically tampering. Because if I was Triple H, I would have definitely been in his ear, like, you see all the lights, you know what I mean? You see that ramp, you see these, I mean, the glitz and glamour, man. It's right up your alley, my G. That's right up your alley. You know what I mean? Ricky Starks would fit great in WWE. Let's be clear. He feels like a WWE guy stuck in AEW. I ain't gonna lie. Medium is the only way for steak. Medium is cool, but everybody medium ain't the same. Some people medium be medium well, and I don't like it. Like, don't give me no medium well steak. Well done steak, like, I don't want dog treats. Are you trying to give me beef jerky? Who are you? Who are you to eat a well done steak? What planet are you from? If my shit ain't like pink, it's like shit. I like my shit soft and pink in the middle, just like something else. So yeah, man. I don't know what's up with Tony Khan, man. He really needs to chill with all that stuff. But tampering is tampering. But I think he's worried because of the next thing we're gonna talk about. This might be one of the reasons he's worried, because Dak's just gonna keep Daxing. Yeah, medium and medium rare only. FTR. This podcast and these social media accounts gonna get these wrestlers in trouble, man, because somebody gonna get sued if they keep playing these games. Obviously, FTR left WWE a while ago and went to AEW, have been relatively successful since they've been in the company. They walked around most of 22 with 6 belts, but they still haven't got the AEW World Tag Team Championships. I think that's way overdue. Obviously, we bitched and moaned about that for a while they had the other belts because we wanted them to have all the belts. They were champions of every company except for the one they actually worked for, which was a little weird at times, especially seeing it on Keith Lee and Swerve, and then he Acclaimed, and you got FTR out here literally being the best tag team on the planet and not being able to hold what AEW calls the biggest tag team belts in the world. You know what I mean? Obviously, that's not true because WWE exists, but, in their eyes, that's what it is. So, Harwood made a little slip up. He was trying to talk about, I guess he was just having a good night, man. He was just having a good night. Just a good chill night. You know what I mean? Wanted to take a picture of his drink. I'll do that sometime. You know what I mean? I'll go get me a bottle. I'll be like this when I'm drinking tonight. You know what I mean? Not a big drinker myself. You know what I mean? But when I do go get me a bottle of Casamigos or something, I'll do a cool little Instagram reel or something. But he decided to snap a photo, talking about whatever this drink is. I ain't promoting it over here. I don't give a shit. But what he forgot was this little document was in the shot. And I ain't gonna lie, the way this photo is cropped looks intentional. I ain't gonna lie. Like, the bottle of liquor, if you're trying to take a picture of the drink, because that's clearly what he's trying to take a picture of is the drink, right? So why is it off-centered? It's like there's space in the middle where you see the chair. If you've seen the picture, like there's space in the so like you wanted to get all these images in the shot, including the corner of that document, because you can clearly see it when you're posting it, and the logo is right in the corner. What logo do you ask? It looks like a document with the WWE. Well, it is the WWE logo. It's clear that it's the W. You can see the right side of the W and a little slash at the bottom. It's clearly the WWE logo. So why is there a WWE logo on Dax's desk currently while he's drinking? This isn't an old photo or anything like that. This is a current photo that he just posted on Instagram. Pro Wrestling Central posted it, reposted it. He deleted it and cropped it in and then reposted it. And they asked, is that a WWE contract in the bottom left corner of the photo? It's not even the bottom left corner. It's literally just on the left side of the photo. You see, like, the whole corner of the contract is clearly visible. Like, he even typed the word finally over it, so he saw it the first time. It's a troll. He did this on purpose. I don't know why he did this on purpose or what's going on here, but it's clear that this was done intentionally, in my opinion. So it is what it is. I'm intrigued. Intrigued for sure. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. Gruss said FTR going back to WWE earlier. I could see it happening, man. They clearly haven't been totally happy. Dax has already come out on his podcast and mentioned all the heat that he had with the Young Bucks and the heat he had with Tony. He said they're all cool now and fences are mended and whatnot, but Dax has had some issues at AEW, feeling like they weren't being, properly booked or treated right, especially compared to the Young Bucks or whatever, and the feud they were promised. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Ass Boys are the future. I agree. Tony Khan been low-key building the Gun Club up for a while, and they beat FTR already. That is facts. That's why, some people were thinking that FTR come back and win the titles. I mean, cool, I guess. You know what I mean? They can come back and win the titles from the Ass Boys. Where does that leave the Acclaim, though? Do they get a rematch? Are the Acclaim still in the title picture? What's going on there? Are they going to do a triple threat tag team match? Which would be awesome. I wouldn't be against it. But who knows? Dax needs to stop trolling, though, because he definitely did that shit on purpose. I'm sorry. That's like somebody touching you, licking their finger and touching your foot like, yo, you want that? Like, you knew what you was doing. FTR joined new WWE champ Cody Rhodes the night after Mania. That would be lit, man. That would be lit. We had, we're getting rumors that, Alistair Black, Malachi Alistair, whatever you want to call him, is might not happy and could potentially be out the door at some point. Miro needs to get the fuck. Miro and Lance Archer need to get the fuck. They would both be better off going to WWE. Miro would thrive now in WWE with his new character being the Redeemer. Like if he could take that, don't bring back Rusev Day. Don't want to see it. Don't make him a corny baby face. No, keep him the fucking live action Drax the Destroyer. That's what I want to see Miro as. Doing this thing like he was doing it in AEW and then just disappeared off TV for something. It's just so weird that he's not on TV. At this point, it's just like there's something going on that we don't know about. Like I know it's just not the stuff that Lana said. Her talking about she might want to go back to WWE and putting her husband on blast and stuff. I don't know, but none of this. It makes zero sense that Lance Archer or Miro aren't on TV. So, I think someone was mentioning. I don't even remember who, but they were mentioning recently about how AEW has a super bloated roster. I mean, that's something we've been talking about for a year at this point, how their roster is just insane for them having 2 hours of TV that people care about. No one counts Rampage. But it's like they got 2 hours of TV, which means like 90 minutes of total on air time. Yeah, I mean, maybe 100 minutes because they do the picture-in-picture shit. But it's like, you ain't got enough time for a roster of 100 wrestlers, my guy. More than 100. 100. It feels like now it's probably like 200 wrestlers on the roster. You ain't got that much time. Like, especially to have people on TV every week, which usually you need to do to keep the stories hot and things like that. I don't know, man. I told you, Gruss, last week that the tag team division was dead. And you know what killed it? The fucking trios division. It was a bad idea. Who asked for trios titles anyway? I don't remember asking for trios titles. Who fucking wants trios titles? What fucking bootleg rinky-dink ass company has trios titles? Like, I get it, you're a faction, but usually factions, they get the tag team titles, they get the heavyweight title, they might have a mid-card title. Everybody in the faction got a title. They don't need to have trios titles so we get 3-on-3 matches all the fucking time so you can squeeze as many people on TV as possible. That shit is whack. Get rid of them fucking trios titles. Bring back the best tag team division in the world, please, because that's literally what was keeping y'all afloat forever. The fucking tag division, they used to literally start the shows off. And shout out to everybody just coming into the stream. Wild Nation Gang, you already know what it is. But they used to literally start off the shows with a crazy tag team match. Every Dynamite. It would be every single Dynamite, the pay-per-view, always a tag team match. When the show started, it's time for the tag team match. And it would be a banger, whether it was the fucking Penta and fucking Ray or whoever the fuck with the Young Bucks, whoever the fuck it was in the ring, they was killing it at all times in those tag matches. And now there's literally the fucking Acclaimed, the Gun Club, and FTR ain't even been on TV. I don't even know who else is in the tag division. Are those two dudes with Swerve a tag team? I don't even fucking know anymore. So it's just like they murked the tag division, man. They murked it, and they need to figure out some way to get it back. And if they lose FTR, that's gonna be a big blow. Clearly, it's one of the best 2 or 3 tag teams in the world, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Just as far as pure wrestling ability. Maybe not as far as story-wise or anything. Their stories is usually wrapped around them just wanting to be the best wrestlers. But these guys could be good baby faces. They could be good heels. I don't see why they wouldn't be AEW tag team champions. But at this point, if they got the belts, would anybody care? The Elite are the trios championships. Are the Young Bucks going to go after the tag team championships and have the tag championships and the trios championships in the Elite? Like, really? The owners, the managers of the company or whatever, the executives just going to have all the belts? How's that going to look? It's already weird that they have any of the belts. Like, but it is what it is. I don't know, man. I honestly, I want FTR to stay in AEW. There's just so much more for him to do. WWE tag team division sucks. They gonna have matches with the Street Profits. the Alpha Academy, like, and I'm naming teams that I like. They gonna feud with the Viking Raiders. Like, who the fuck? Like, I don't want to see FTR in WWE. I want them to stay in AEW because the matches will be better. You know what I mean? They'll be better. Obviously we can't get FTR and the Briscoes anymore. Rest in peace to Jay. But just that whole legacy with those matches and all that stuff. Would they even talk about that stuff if FTR was over there? Like, I don't know. I think they just need to stay put. They need to figure it out. But Tony Khan needs to put those belts on those guys at some point, and he needs to fix the tag division and get it back to where it was. Because Dark Order's in the fucking trios division, Top Flight's in the trios division with AR Fox. Like, you got all the, Chris Jericho and Hager ain't even a team no more. You ain't even really got no team in the JAS to represent for the tag. Like, this. I guess Moxley and Cesaro are a team, or Cesaro and Yuta are a team. I don't know, but they're not wrestling for the belts. They're not in the tag team picture as far as the belts are concerned. The tag division is dying at the very least. You still got, but Penta, they're in the trios division too. Death Triangle, like, everybody's like in the trios division, man. Like, shit is fucking whack. Like, the tag division was literally the best on the planet of Earth. And then they just blew it up to make trios titles. That's like some video game shit. Yeah, we got a 3-man team and everybody has a belt. That shit is fucking stupid. I don't even know what rinky-dink ass promotion that came from. I know it was probably an idea from another promotion. I don't know if New Japan got trios titles. I don't think they do. But whoever the fuck AEW copied that shit from, they need to give it back. Honestly, just bring back tag team wrestling, man. But man, I told you we had a lot to talk about today. We're gonna be here for a while. But what else we got? Oh yeah, in our last AEW story, because we got to talk about this because I like roasting dickheads and people who say stupid shit on the internet. I love roasting stupid people that say stupid people on the internet. And last night I saw JD post something. JD from NY, shout out to JD. He posted something on Twitter about saying that Conan needed to apologize. So I was like, what the fuck does Conan need to apologize to take a shitter? I'm joking. To Kesha for. So he I clicked on the link and then I saw it and I was flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted. This is completely absurd. So Conan, if you don't know, Conan from WCW days, is, I call him pro wrestling legend. You know what I mean? It might be a stretch, but well known in the pro wrestling industry. Is helped a lot of young wrestlers and different things like that. Now he has his podcast. I think it's called Keeping It 100 or something like that. But he was on there talking about Takeshita imitating Eddie Guerrero before he did a frog splash in his match against MJF on Dynamite last week. And this is what he said. He said, well, Takeshita, he's got heat with me. I'm so sick of that fucking word, heat. He's got heat with me. I wish somebody would say I got heat with them. I'd be like, bitch, do something. Who cares? Don't you out there talking about I got heat with you. Like, well, this shit sounds weird. It sounds sexual. It sounds like you want him. Like, I don't know. Like, oh, he's hot. He's got heat with me. Like, bro, chill. Pause. What is you talking about? And he's lucky I wasn't in El Paso. What were you going to do? This is so confusing because when he went up and he did the fucking Eddie Guerrero thing for the frog splash, you ain't even got a name for it. You just call it the Eddie Guerrero thing. What's it called? What's it called? Since you're so tight with Eddie, what's it called? Like, get the fuck out of here. You're not, but this is where it went off the rails. He said, you're not Mexican, dude. I don't care. Stick to your nationality. I don't have my sound effects up. I wish I gotta redo my board. Hold on, I do have this one.
This is bullshit, man.
Cause what the fuck, bruh? I mean, it's 2023. Like, I mean, you trying to get canceled? Like, just stop the podcast. Just end it. You ain't even gotta do it no more. Like, no one's listening anyway. It's like 5 people listen to that shit. I mean, ain't nobody listen to my shit. I only got 11 people listen to my shit right now. But shit, I'm just saying, you Conan. Like, why would you say something like that? Stick to your nationality? Because he did the Eddie Guerrero. They canceled Kalisto in AEW over Eddie Guerrero. Did they? I ain't never hear about that. That would be. It came from Ring of Honor. You're right. It sure did, Grush. You're 100% right, and that's where they need to leave it. But first of all, let me just say this: when people pick and choose who they want to have a battle against, because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Because maybe I just haven't been watching Monday Night Raw for the last 3-4 months. Maybe I'm confused. Is Rhea Ripley Mexican? Because it took me a while to realize that Bayley was Spanish. Like, I didn't know. I thought she was just a white girl. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? For a long time, I think I just realized she was fucking, was she Mexican as well? Like, I just realized she was Latina, like, maybe a year or two ago. So maybe Rhea Ripley is also Latina, and she's just, really light-skinned and likes metal music. Did I miss something? Because I'm pretty sure she made a whole fucking T-shirt copying Eddie Guerrero's gimmick. I'm just correct me if I'm wrong, because I smoke a lot of weed. This is Wrestling on Weed. Shout out to Wild Nation. Gang, gang. Y'all know what it is. I'm a little confused. Seth Rollins is Mexican? Yo, don't blow my fucking mind right now. Don't do that. He's from Iowa. There's no Mexicans in Iowa. That's a joke. I don't fucking know. But still, is that true? That would be insane. That would be insane. That would be some cool shit to learn, man. It would also be cool to learn if Rhea Ripley's Mexican. But I'm pretty sure she's not. She does like black guys. I mean, she's with Buddy Murphy now, but she was with a black guy before him. So, hey, shout out to Rhea for that. You know what I mean? But I don't. Yeah, Bailey's last name is Lopez. That's when I realized. I was like, is she Latina? And then I looked at that ass and I was like, yeah, she's probably Latina. She's probably Latina for sure. But I don't. Let's get Dominic Mysterio is the best Mexican wrestler right now. Yep, I agree. You know what I mean? Ex-con Dom. But I don't understand why he thought that this was okay to say. For Takeshita went up there and did it's a salute. It's paying homage. Every single person who watches wrestling, who knows wrestling and the history of it, knows where that came from. It's clearly him paying homage to one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Why would anybody be mad at that? I wouldn't give a fuck if Brock Lesnar got up there and did it. And I bet you wouldn't say shit to him. I bet you wouldn't have heat with Brock Lesnar if he said it. You know what I mean? And Miro chimed in on Twitter with some shit that I would have said. We're going to start doing late night streams more often. You know what I mean? I'm going to just go ahead and say that right now, because shout out to everybody in the stream. I got to stop streaming while y'all at work so people can actually watch the show. But that's what I'm gonna do for you guys. I'm gonna stop streaming during the daytime when everybody's busy and start streaming at night so people could actually watch the show. But yeah, man, Miro came out and was like, I bet he wouldn't last 10 seconds with Takeshita. And it's like, that's 1,000% true. Takeshita would beat his ass. Like, it's not. Conan would have to stab him. Like, this old ass man, like, he wasn't that fast when he was wrestling. So I don't know why he thinks that someone's going to be scared. Oh, he's lucky I wasn't in El Paso. You was going to drive to the arena, get through Monday night security, and then harm him or something? Why was he lucky? I'm so confused. Were you going to wait for him out in the parking lot? Or AEW? I don't know why I said WWE. AEW security. Like, I don't think they would have just let you walk in and attack him. Is that your plan? Is that what he's lucky? Or were you going to yell at him from the crowd? I don't know why he was lucky. I'm confused. Is that a threat? Like maybe he should call the police to get a restraining order. I don't know, but this is all confusing. I don't understand. Conan needs to sit the fuck down somewhere. But getting into more AEW news. Let's see what we got. Oh, I'm sorry, WWE news. I don't know why I said AEW. WWE news. This is actually pretty fucking important because this has been going on for a while. I'm just gonna mention it real quick. But that case between MLW and WWE, an antitrust lawsuit, MLW suing WWE for tampering with their talent, and trying to have a monopoly on the wrestling world, which has been going on for 30 something years. I don't know how they thought that was gonna fly. And it didn't. They dismissed the case today. So no money for MLW, no what they would deem as justice, I guess. MLW just gonna have to go back to being basically irrelevant. No disrespect to them, but you know what I mean? Coming for WWE is just not a good move. That's why I was talking about Tony in our earlier stories. Like Tony Khan, I told it's a wrestling war and we hate each other. Man, that company is publicly traded. They about to be sold for like $10 billion. You can't even get 1 million people to watch your main show. It's not a war. You know what I mean? It's not a war. That's like somebody in the NBA being after losing, 15 times, talking about, yeah, man, we trying to do better in this rivalry. It's not a rivalry. You just lose to them all the time. Like, what are you talking about? You're just on the schedule to lose. It's not a rivalry. Rivalry, both teams are even. It's like back and forth. The Lakers and the Celtics was a rivalry. You know what I mean? The Warriors and the Cavs when LeBron there and the Heat, those rivalries. Like I don't. This ain't no rivalry, my nigga. AEW is no competition for W. They're literally no threat. WWE can put on shit shows every week and they ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like they got blood money going all through the company. Anything can happen. Any controversy. There's literally a sexual assaulter in the office right now. Still doing better numbers than y'all. So I'm going to need you to stop saying that it's a war. Stop it. I'll try and get back on that topic. But leave WWE alone when it comes to all that wrestling where they literally put entire regions out of business. They shut everything down. Vince McMahon said, oh, it's nice. I got y'all little territories. Everybody go home. It's my shit. I don't think picking that fight is a smart idea. I'm just saying. Doesn't seem like a smart idea. And MLW just found out the hard way. In more WWE news, there's some stuff coming off of Monday Night Raw. I don't know if y'all care. I don't really care. I'm kind of over this guy. They're repackaging Baron Corbin again. Obviously, he got dissed. They actually interrupted him doing an interview last night to cut to Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes, which I can't wait to talk about in a minute. But they, cut his interview off and then went back to him. He's just being disrespected. I don't know what they can do with him. He's a bum. You know what I mean? He's a loser. Like, was he gonna win a championship now? Like, he brought up the fact that he's the last person to beat Roman Reigns if he's gonna challenge for the world title or something. Like, I don't care about Baron Corbin in the least. And he's good. And he's from my home state, Kansas City. You know what I mean? Even though I hate the Chiefs, Raider Nation. But I think he's a really good wrestler. Everything is good about Baron Corbin. He's really good. He's missing the it factor. It's important, man. The it factor is important. You know what I mean? LA Knight got the it factor. Like there's people with the it factor that, they ain't got to be 6'10" and, have all, this great athleticism, but they'll be popular and they'll get over and people want to watch them wrestle. Nobody wants to see fucking Baron Corbin. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. The matches are boring, even though they're not bad, but they're just boring. His character work is just completely trash. His character work is perfectly fine. He does good with what they give him, but what they give him is trash. So you can only do the best you can with trash. You know what I mean? As JBL said, you can't polish a turd, and the gimmicks they give him are complete turds. Baron Corbin has the best signature move and finisher move. It's up there. Definitely up there. End of Days is definitely one of my favorite finishing moves in WWE by far. I think it used to be the Eclipse when, Ember Moon was there. But, F5, End of Days, probably the best two finishing moves. You know what I mean, stunner, obviously. Kevin Owens doing the stunner. Stunner is probably best finishing move of all time, if you ask me. Stunner and the RKO, but it's the same fucking move, honestly. What else? AW would make Baron Corbin a world champ on day one. Facts. Facts. I mean, honestly, he would be a good champ in AEW. And he could be champion in AEW because it would feel like a complete fresh restart. And you wouldn't be like, oh, that's bum ass Corbin, or that's Happy Corbin, or that's King Corbin, or that's whatever one of the 10 fucking gimmicks they had on him in the last 3-4 years. I think it could be a fresh restart. He would be a fine champion, man. He's a great heel. I don't know. Pedigree is the best finishing move. It's a dangerous finishing move. You know what I mean? Because you're unprotected going down to the mat like that. But I don't think people execute it like Triple H did. You know what I mean? They don't like slam people into the mat. Like Triple H used to keep your arms hooked. Like a lot of the times now they let your arms go, and I don't know. It just be looking weak a lot of the times now. You know what I mean? Pedigree's a good finisher. Definitely, one of the best finishers ever. It's, devastating move if it's executed properly. But, it takes two people because the other person definitely have to kick their legs up. You know what I mean? So if they're not helping you, you know what I mean, it's going to look bad. And sometimes it looks bad. Motherfuckers landing on their knees and shit. You know what I mean? Don't be looking right. I do hate Baron's move when they whip him into the turnbuckle and he slides out the ring and slides back in. I like that. I like Baron's entire moveset, man. It's just, the matches be boring. There's no stories being told in the matches, and they're not fast-paced matches. There's always headlocks and rest holds and all this shit in Baron Corbin matches. It's just boring as fuck. The moveset in itself isn't terrible. I actually don't mind that slide out the ring, come back in, and clothesline people, but it's so predictable. Like, I'm waiting for somebody to, catch him slipping when he slides back in the ring. I'm surprised we haven't seen that yet. We probably have. What else we got? Otis is going to be a part of Maximum Male Models at some point. That's what it's looking like. They're going to call him Otis. I don't want to talk about that because I don't want that to happen. Now, we do have some WrestleMania news, guys, because obviously WrestleMania Hollywood is on its way back, right? So, this is good. WrestleMania Hollywood is going to be fun. The last time they did it was WrestleMania 20. It was pretty fucking awesome. All the skits that they had and shit. The wrestlers doing movie themed skits, and looks like we're gonna be doing the same thing this time around. And honestly, I can't fucking wait to see them. It'll be good fun watching those back on YouTube and laughing at them. But there's definitely some spoilers that have been released on who's gonna be doing what movie skit. On the show. And we got Maurice and Miz. They'll be doing something with the Top Gun movie. Obviously, one of the biggest movies of last year or 2 years ago when they come out. Rhea Ripley and Judgment Day will be doing some Stranger Things stuff. Makes perfect sense. The Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre will be doing 40-Year-Old Virgin. Okay. Becky and Seth Rollins will be doing some Batman and Joker shit because they're two men. And the Bloodline are going to be doing a Goodfellas skit, which makes perfect fucking sense. Obviously, them being, mobsters themselves, you know what I mean? A family of gangsters, you know what I mean? So that should be pretty good. I'm sure there'll be a couple more sprinkled in there, but yeah, looking forward to this stuff, man. I'm kind of sad in me being a wrestling podcaster, YouTube or whatever. Like, obviously, I have to read this stuff. But if I was just a fan, like, I would be not trying to like spoil all this stuff for myself. It'd be really cool if we lived in the times. I know you could just scroll Instagram, everything will be spoiled for you anyway. So it's no hiding from this shit. But it's it was nice to just watch the show and then this shit pop up and get you not be expecting it, but. We got something to look forward to. Hopefully it's executed properly and it's all entertaining. Otis's Max Male Models. Otis and yeah. It can be. That's gonna be TV gold if he does it. First of all, I already like Otis and Chad Gable, and I already like Maximum Male Models. I think both gimmicks for comedy acts are great. You know what I mean? They're comedy acts. They lose all the time, but they're still good. Like, Mansoor or Mansoor, is pretty good in the ring. He's gotten pretty good in the ring. And I think D.L. Madden or Masay, super athletic. You know what I mean? He leaned into being a former football player and being able to, lean into that role that he's playing right now, especially after coming from Retribution and being Mace. It's like, got to give them props, man. Got to give them props. They're gonna do that weird ass funny gimmick, then it's cool that they can lean into it like that. So yeah, we got that. What else we got? Oh, we got some Seth Rollins news. Seth Rollins isn't happy that we talked about him the other day too, him and his Logan Paul stuff. But he's, he feels a little slighted that he's not involved in WrestleMania in the main event. He's gonna be in Elimination Chamber this Saturday, and we'll see where he goes from there. It's looking like he's gonna be facing Logan Paul at some point. Or they're probably gonna announce it at some point for WrestleMania, which will be cool. I'm looking forward to that. But he was speaking with Sport Guys Talking Wrestling, Stu Myrick, at the Super Bowl. He was doing his interview rounds for WrestleMania as well, and he was asked who his dance partner will be at WrestleMania. He said, "We'll see. Time will tell. We will see which option presents itself. We got to get to the chamber first. If I'm the United States champion, I'm going to have a lot of people gunning for me." He also went on to say Rollins went on to say, "I don't know the answer to that question," when he was asked about whether Rhodes was the man to, dethrone Reigns. He said, "It's very hard for me to look at that match unbiased. I want that match. I want that spot. I want that title. And to not have it, there's a lot of salt in the wound of having to talk about it. It's difficult for me to analyze. I will say you're looking at a rock and a hard place. You've got Roman Reigns, who is, on an incredible run, but you've got Cody Rhodes, who is riding a lot of momentum." Rollins went on to continue to say, when those two guys meet, if that is the match, it could be Sami Zayn in that spot. We'll see after Elimination Chamber. It's going to be a generational main event of WrestleMania. Again, it's hard for me to feel anything but slighted by it, so that's what it is. He said he will support his brothers regardless of the outcome because it's going to be an incredible main event at WrestleMania no matter what it is. I can respect that. Like, he wants to be the top guy. Like, Seth Rollins he grew up a wrestling fan. He wants to be a top guy. As he said in his promo with The Miz yesterday, he loves this. He loves this. So I get it. I get it. And, he deserves that top spot. He deserves to be in that position. But Seth ain't telling no stories like Roman Reigns is. I'm sorry. Like, what story has Seth been involved in? Just be honest. Y'all can help me out. Maybe I'm overlooking something. Since he turned on the Shield and joined Triple H and whatever the Authority or whatever the hell it was, what story has he been a part of that was intriguing? Like, truly intriguing? Like, where you like, oh man, it's a really good storyline that they're telling. I can't think of none. I'm sitting up here like, maybe I'm forgetting something. I don't know. I don't know what feuds he feuded with John Cena and Randy Orton after no. What are you talking about? Well, he did feud with Randy Orton. Did he feud with John Cena? I don't recall that. Maybe he did. He didn't feud with John Cena. Am I high right now? Are you high? I don't remember that. But what's up, James? Thanks for stopping in the chat too, man. And Logan's not going to beat Seth Paul. I might have to stop watching wrestling if that happened, at least for a day. Yeah, I don't know, man. What is Seth, like, his storyline ain't what Roman Reigns is. Like, he's not that good of an actor. You know what I mean? He's not, like, he's good. He's a great sports entertainer. He's a phenomenal pro wrestler. But you're going to have to find something. You're going to have to stumble across something like this, bruh. Like, Roman Reigns is on his God mode hill shit. And Seth Rollins doesn't have to be a heel to win the championship. I think he could win the championship as a tweener in the state he's in right now. Like he's hot right now. There's a lot of wrestlers who are over in WWE. Let's be clear. The top of the card is pretty fucking hot. Like everybody's pretty much over. From the Bobby Lashley's and the Brock Lesnar's still being over to obviously, Roman and Sami and Cody and the Usos and people like that. Becky and Bayley are still over. Maybe not all the Damage Control, but Bayley is still over. So you got a lot of people, including Seth, who are still over in the company. I just don't know, man. I don't know. I understand that he's a little salty and he wants to be in that spot, and he deserves that spot just based on, his run. He's, always putting on good matches. Lost, fell to Cody 3 times. You know what I mean? Did the job for Cody 3 times. Like, he clearly loves the company. He's always standing up for WWE. You know what I mean? Told CM Punk to stay the fuck away. I'm sure it's, Triple H like hearing him say that. It's no, if you're jealous of or you're salty that your friends are in a better position than you, at least he said he was still going to cheer him on. At least that's why I said I kind of respect it, because it shows how much he still has the passion to be the top guy. But he's also trying to make it clear that he's not being a hater. Like, he's not saying those guys don't deserve it. He's just saying he wishes he was there too. So I'm not mad at him for that, man. I'm actually not mad at Seth for saying that. And just because he said that, now I want him to get the title even more. I want him to eventually have the title even more, because he does deserve it. And he'd be a great champion, obviously. I mean, he's been champion before, so I think he'd be a great champion again. He's more over now than he's ever been. And just with his popularity with this whole fashion icon thing, Seth is really about to be on another level. Like, especially you do this Logan Paul match, that's just going to add more to his resume as far as his public profile. Seth about to be one of those dudes, man. He's about to be, he could be the next guy in Roman Reigns' position when Roman take a break or whatever. Cody and Seth could be the next feud, which would be, it would be good, but I don't know if I need to see that again. I've seen it too many times already, but, they always have good matches. We're going to have to revisit that at least one more time. Seth got to get that win over Cody. That might actually be who beats Cody for the championship eventually. If they double back around and Seth's like, yo, you got me 3 times in a row. I need my revenge. You know what I mean? You beat me with 1 tit. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? And then they revisit the match and Seth takes the belt off Cody as a tweener heel or whatever he is. That would actually be pretty good. Not for a while, though. That's maybe SummerSlam or something like that. That'd be a great main event for SummerSlam, Cody and Seth. But that's Seth's opinion on the main event of WrestleMania. Eric Bischoff, who's normally just speaking hot garbage and saying stupid stuff on his podcast or whatever show he does, he actually said something that I think I agree with. Matter of fact, I'm like 97% sure I agree with it. He said that the Bloodline is better than the NWO. He said the Bloodline story blows the NWO story out of the water. His words, not mine. He said, this is truly some of the best storytelling and most disciplined storytelling for the last couple of years. Unfortunately, you had to listen to me babble and drone and rant on and on and on about disciplined, quality, structure, storytelling. And I've gotten so much heat for that, especially amongst the AEW fans, because I'm quick to point out that that's what's lacking over there. It is. All of a sudden, we're seeing disciplined, structure, progressive, compelling, episodic television with great characters. And guess what? It's hot. It just proves my point. He's not wrong about that. I'm really hoping that when this is over, WWE and everybody involved sit back and says, all right, that worked pretty good. We told a great story. Let's go back and dissect it and figure out exactly what we did so well. Don't just move past it. This storyline, the build-up and everything about it has been flawless. And it's the elements and the discipline that went into the story that has made it so good. If you can figure out a formula based on those elements, because every match is going to be different, every situation is going to be different. But if you've got a template, if you've got a formula, 7 times out of 10, you're going to hit. And one of those is going to be a bloodline type story. Okay, Eric. Okay, Eric. You lost me. You lost me. Okay, let me just make sure we're all clear here. Jimmy got hurt. Can't plan that. That's not, you don't write someone actually getting hurt. What do they go out there and like injure themselves on purpose? So that's how all this shit started. Jay's by himself. He's getting tortured and mentally abused by Roman. So that never happens if Jimmy don't get hurt. So the plan doesn't even start. Like I don't even know what the fuck we doing right now if Jimmy don't get hurt and Jay's not there to be the right hand man. I don't know what the fuck's happening. So it's not a planned scenario. I mean, you could write people off and write, in injuries into storylines if you want, but he's making it seem like this all just was planned out. Wasn't at all. Sami Zayn getting as hot as he was. That wasn't supposed to happen. None of this supposed to be happening. This place supposed to be hanging out with the bloodline for a couple months doing some funny shit, blah, 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 and then it'd be over in, a few weeks or whatever. And Sami Zayn just knocked the shit out the park. Jimmy and Jey Uso knocked it out the park. Roman knocked it out the park. Everybody knocked it out the park working with Sami and his involvement. And it just bubbled up. But it wasn't supposed to happen. None of this was supposed to happen. It wasn't planned. It was just that it got over because everybody involved was so good. This nigga Sami coming out and cracking Roman in the middle of the ring. Roman is sitting up there busting out laughing because this motherfucker's not feeling very oozy, dog. My dog. Yo, we gonna go get some Waffle House. Like, come on, man. Like, Sami made this shit hot. Like, it's like nobody knew he was gonna be this good, except for probably him. Like, but nobody projected that this was gonna play out the way it did. Like, this was all an accident. So for him to be like, all right, we can go back and, we can dissect it and figure out what we did right and did wrong. Motherfucker, we just got lucky. Like, it just worked. It just happened to work out. Roman Reigns was he's been in God mode. Now that works when you got a super duper final boss. Super duper amazing, ready for Hollywood ass, good looking ass, fucking final boss ass motherfucker. Like, you gotta have that. First and foremost, the guy to be taken down at the end of the story. I can't see them being able to plan out something this perfect. Like, it's too perfect. I feel if they try to plan stuff like this, it won't work. Like, how amazing, like we talked about earlier with the Elite versus the CM Punk and FTR thing be if they decided to all work together and get this money. That's a story for the ages. Everybody gonna be talking about that. They could feud for a whole year. Those 6 guys just going back and forth, all different kinds of matches, involve some other people, tell some stories, bring back Ace Steel. I don't give a fuck. Bring back, the little Larry the dog. Everybody can come back. We could just involve everybody. And it could be compelling TV because there's a level of realism to it. And there's some good actors in it. Like, I feel like CM Punk could really, kill that stuff. I don't know how the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega would really play that, but I'm sure they do fine. But you want storylines, like Eric said, and I think it's the key word that he used. You want the storylines to be disciplined. The discipline that he's speaking about when it comes to WWE is how they didn't rush anything. They didn't rush anything about this storyline. Things happen, and they didn't do the thing where the fans are clearly asking for something. The fans are clearly behind something. They're just like, nope, we're giving you what we want to give you. Nope, you're getting what we want to give you. Stop. We don't care that you're cheering for this person or this, catchphrase or this whatever. We're giving you what we're going to give you. We're going to make you make important what we want you to know is important. Like, bitch, we'll decide what's important. We don't want watching the shit. You know what I mean? We want Sami Zayn, then we gonna chant Usi. You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So That's kind of what happened, and WWE just got lucky. So, although I agree with the first half of what Eric said, that WWE has done an amazing job with this story as far as the discipline and the structure and the compelling storytelling and all that stuff. You can repeat this. I don't. Something being this perfect, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if that's possible. This might go down as the greatest long-term storyline in the history of wrestling. Um, Personally, I can't think of anything better. You know what I mean? Like I loved Macho Man, Hogan, and Elizabeth and that story. I liked Hogan and Andre. That was a great story. I liked Randy Orton and Triple H. That was fun and compelling TV. And Austin McMahon, obviously. There's a lot of feuds, man. There's a lot of feuds. But Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker probably would be right up there, right behind this, if you ask me. The NWO. Ooh, I mean, as far as the story, but what was the story? They just beat everybody up. I don't know. There was no stories. They just literally beat everybody up. And if you couldn't beat them, you just joined them. So I don't really know the story of a gang that took over a company and then destroyed it. I don't know. I don't. What's the story? What's the story with the NWO? So I definitely think, if you ask me, the Bloodline has been the best story in wrestling history. Personally, just I could be wrong. Yeah, you could disagree with me all you want, but that's just my opinion. These are real actors. All these guys in this story. Sami Zayn's facial expressions, even last night on Raw, like his facial expressions on that show, it was just like when Cody was talking to him, he's just sitting up. Oh man, I was like, yo, this dude, send him to Hollywood, man, right now. Like, put him on a fucking plane, send him to Hollywood. I guess they'll be there in a few weeks anyway, but. Sammy need to be in some fucking movies, man. That man's an amazing actor. Paul Heyman's an amazing actor. Jay Uso is an amazing actor. Jimmy Uso's pretty damn good himself. Roman's ready for Hollywood. Like these guys are professionals, man. These guys are fucking professionals, and it's showing as they're telling this story. So I don't know. I don't want to harp on that too much, but NWO not as good as Bloodline. I actually agree with Eric Bischoff this time. That's crazy. But that's it for our news today. We're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw. You guys can let me know what happened in on NXT because I'm probably never gonna watch that. But but we are gonna talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw, and I'm just gonna go through this real quick because we already been here for an hour and a half almost. So go through this real quick, talk about this show because there's really just one good thing that happened. I ain't gonna lie. There was one good thing that happened on the show. Okay, Boogs made me laugh. For the first time, Boogs made me laugh. I ain't gonna lie. When he did the whole "I'm Boogsing out," I bust out laughing because that shit was funny. I ain't gonna. I don't know how he did it or when it turned, but Bugs made me laugh hard as shit. So I just wanted to give him a shout out because maybe it'll get over. Maybe he'll be able to get that shit over because he was annoying the first couple weeks. I'm just like, man, fuck is this? This shit is weird. But, hey, man, I ain't mad at him. Keep doing your thing, Bugs. Bugs. I don't even know how to say your name right. But the show started off, with the same people the show ended with. Becky came out and was basically like, yo, I want the championship. Why am I not in the Elimination Chamber? There's some bullshit. Adam Pearce, I want to be in the Elimination Chamber. Then Bailey came out and was like, hold up, bitch. I want to be in the Elimination Chamber too. And I just beat you. So I want to be in the Elimination Chamber. Then Bianca Belair came out and was like, hold up, bitches. Ain't neither one of y'all getting in the Elimination Chamber because I'm about to beat your ass and neither one of y'all going. So eventually in the main event, was a great main event, by the way. Got to get those ladies props. Becky, Bianca, and Bailey killed this match. The finish was a little wonky because Becky rolled off of Bailey a little slow. She was like a whole combination finish, and Bailey hit some move. I think she hit a man-handle slam on Bailey or something, and she was supposed to like bounce off. No, Bianca hit her KOD with Becky onto Bailey, and she was supposed to like bounce right off, but she kind of was on Becky. And I'm like, ref, count the shit. What are you doing? That's a 2 count. What are you doing? But Becky eventually got off, and Bianca's just like, oh, thanks for moving, and then got down and covered Bailey. It was like, what the fuck is this? That was a mess. That was a complete mess. Wasn't bad as the WrestleMania finish with Ronda. We ain't gonna even go back to that. I was there live for that, and I'm still mad that I saw that live. But but yeah, Boog's definitely be on some hard drugs. I ain't gonna lie. He definitely looks and sounds like he be on hard drugs. But yeah, so the match was good. The main event in the opening segment. We also saw the Street Profits and Judgment Day go at it. Decent match. Judgment Day ended up winning. Rhea Ripley was back. Edge and Beth Phoenix showed up on the show. Fought with Judgment Day. Got jumped or whatever. Because Rhea Ripley showed up and attacked Beth Phoenix. So it was a bunch of stuff. Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar had a brawl during their contract signing. Duh. But Piper Niven beat Mia Yim or Meechin. Doudrop beat Mia Yim, or is it Piper Niven beat Meechin? I don't know what's going on. Too many names. And biggest part of the show, like I was speaking on, Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present you, and this is why what Eric Bischoff said is 100% true. The storytelling has been flawless. We were all worried. I brought it up the other day. I didn't know how they were going to get out of this Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn thing. Clearly, Cody's the guy. People want Sami to win. They don't want Sami to be in a tag team match. Some people, I wanted Sami to be in a tag team match. I don't think Sami should be fighting Roman for the world championship, even though he deserves it. It's not the story they're telling, and I want the story to be completed. I want them to finish the story. Word to Cody. But we were all worried, man. Like, how is this going to work? Are people going to start turning on Cody? Cody getting a little bit of booze, you know what I mean, mixed in with a lot of cheers, but you still hearing a little bit of booze. It's like, no, we want Sami. You getting Sami chants and shit. You don't want that for the number one baby face that's supposed to be dethroning your final boss 2-year, almost 3-year reigning world champion. So they had to do something to fix this on the road to WrestleMania. And Lord have mercy, did they fix this shit. Cody Rhodes is a fucking genius. Whoever came up with this idea is a fucking genius. Sami Zayn is a fucking genius. So Sami Zayn, this is where they interrupted Baron Corbin. Kathy Kelly was like, oh, wait a minute, we got she had literally just set up the interview like, hey, Corbin, wait a minute, we got something going on out in the ring. Corbin was like, man, what the fuck? But as you saw Sami come out in his black hoodie, probably the same one he beat Roman's ass in last week. And he was just like, yo, I ain't trying to hold up the show. This segment was 13 minutes. We ain't gonna even talk about that though. But he said, I ain't trying to hold up the show. But I somebody I got to talk to, and I don't know if I'm gonna get another chance to do it before Elimination Chamber. So he called out Cody Rhodes, and my jaw fucking dropped. I literally out loud, I'm in here by myself. My son was here, my dog was here, but there's nobody listening to me. My son was asleep actually at that time. I was like, oh, they tripping. I was like, this is risky. Why would he do this? Like, this is risky. Even when they got in the ring together, it was like, I'm nervous. I'm nervous what's about to happen. Please don't boo nobody. They in New York City. I'm just like, please, God, don't start booing nobody. This is about to get messy. But it was the opposite. It was the fucking opposite, because this nigga Sami was like, yo, Cody Rhodes did the, hey, Sami, so what you want to talk about? Because that's his line. And Sami's just like, yo, man, there was one thing you said last week that stuck with me, and I just need to know if you meant it or not before I go into this match. And he's like, do you really believe that I could beat Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber? And he says, Sami, I ain't got time to bullshit you, bruh. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't believe it. Of course I believe you can beat it. Matter of fact, I believe you will beat Roman Reigns. Now, what's weird is you asking me this question because I'm starting to wonder if you actually believe it. And it was just the look on Sami's face. Just the look on his face was he wasn't sure. Like he looked unconfident like a motherfucker. And, Cody noticed it. And Cody's just sitting there like, bruh, nah, man, you good, bruh. Like, go do your thing. And he's like, Roman's been champion for all this time, and I was with them for 9 months plotting and planning and all these different things. I know how they roll. They don't lose, whether it's Solo or the Usos or whoever helping them retain his championship. Roman's in God mode. It's not just words. He actually, wins all the time. No one has been able to beat him. The biggest, the strongest, people bigger and stronger than me haven't been able to take him out. So how am I supposed to do it? So the answer to your question is, I don't know. And just the way he delivered it was just so genuine and so passionate and felt so fucking real, because it's what we would feel. Like, yeah, we're professional wrestlers too, but God damn, that's Roman Reigns, man. He's literally the final. Nobody beats him. Like, he beat Brock Lesnar. So I'm going to beat him? Like, what the hell? So, you could feel it. You could feel it. And Cody's just like, man, fuck all that. All these people believe in you. I believe in you. You could do this shit. And just really, really motivating them. The crowd almost fucked this shit up. I ain't gonna lie. Like, some people was giving this crowd props last night. I thought the crowd was ass. And I'm more so talking about this segment because they were pretty much standard for the rest of the show. But this segment, the crowd was ass. They were confused multiple times on what chant to do. They did the Ole chant. I thought we were in Canada. They did the Ole, 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 like literally in the middle of one of like the most intense back and forth. They start doing this fucking comedy goofy ass chant. I was like, oh no. I was like, please don't let these motherfuckers go into business for themselves, because it felt like that's what was about to happen. I was like, if y'all ruin this fucking segment, New York, I swear to God, y'all should never get a show again. Like, I was about to be so mad, but Cody kind of let them have their little moment, and then Sami jumped back in, to try to make it serious again after they just tried to do some goof. Like, it was a real super serious moment, and they're like, ole, ole, ole. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Are you even watching the show? Pay attention. Like, stop. I hate that shit. It's just weird. I wish they could mute the crowd sometimes. But Sami just doesn't know if he's capable of beating Roman Reigns. He said he feels like he's, he can be Universal Champion. He feels like he can be the guy and all that, but he just doesn't know if he's gonna beat Roman Reigns. And long story short, Cody just gave him some super motivation, basically tell him that he could do the shit and he'll be champion. He said, I don't want to see you back here on Monday night no more. You know what I mean? I want to see you at WrestleMania. Sami was all juiced up, feeling a lot better about himself after the promo. So, I love this. And you want to talk about both guys being uber baby faces. Like, I love Cody Rhodes now. Like, you gonna talk about, man, that's my best friend now. He got a black wife. Cody can come to any cookout I throw. Swear to God. Cody is invited. Him and his lisp. I don't care. I don't care that every time he starts a sentence, it looks like he's about to say suffer succotash. I ain't gonna even I'm so petty, but I fucking love Cody Rhodes, man. That promo last night, like, he was already on a hot streak, but that promo last night, and on top of the shit he did with Paul Heyman, but that shit last night, just the genius of it and how he could just flip anybody that was hoping that Sami Zayn would be the world champion after Elimination Chamber. No, we want to see Cody's the big dog. Yeah, I mean, Sami is nice. This is cute that you got here. We all rooting for you to win. We want you to win. You know what I mean? But you ain't about to beat Roman Reigns, bro. Like, it's like, that's the guy right there. The guy in the white suit looking nice and crispy. You know what I mean? That's the guy. Not the guy in the hoodie with the big beard and red hair down his back. Like, you don't even look like you ready for work, bro. Like, go clean yourself up. Yeah, I mean, you want to be champion. But no, we all love Sami. Sami's uber baby face, but he's more like the underdog baby face. You know what I mean? So he could lose and everything still be okay, especially if he gets that match with the Usos, which is definitely happening at WrestleMania. But Cody Rhodes came out of this looking like a fucking G. Yeah, I mean, now he's giving motivational speeches to the guy that everybody wants to beat Roman and everybody's behind right now. So everybody got to be behind them. We literally were Cody Rhodes talking to Sami Zayn last night. Cody Rhodes was literally us. Like, nah, Sami, you could do it, dog. Fuck that. We want Sami versus, you know what I mean, Cody. Like, he was literally us. You know what I mean, talking to Sami, trying to motivate Sami and stand behind Sami. So how could you not love Cody Rhodes for that? So I think he did an amazing job at, kind of flipping this whole narrative on its head that, he's not as hot as Sami, and Sami deserves to be in the main event of WrestleMania against Roman, or maybe make it a triple threat. We don't need to do none of that. There needs to be one person in the match against Roman that dethrones him for them belts. Keep the shit simple, stupid. Don't fuck it up now. You know what I mean? This whole shit with Sami wasn't supposed to go down how it was, but fuck it. It's amazing. Take it as far as you can go. Just don't do nothing stupid. Something stupid would be putting him in the main event against Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. People who not watching Friday Night SmackDown every week ain't trying to tune in and watch Sami Zayn. Let's just keep it 100. You know what I mean? But people know Cody Rhodes because he's done all these different shows outside of WWE. He's blah, 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 doing all the rounds, blah, blah, blah. Sami Zayn could do all that stuff too. But it's a different presentation, man. We're not going to sit up here and pretend we can't use our eyes and see what it is. Cody Rhodes look like he's ready to do business at all times. He looks like a champion. He walks like a champion. He talks like a champion. So it is what it is, man. So he's the guy that should do it. I love what they did here. I can't give these guys enough props for being able to flip this storyline on its head and make sure that there would be no boos for Cody Rhodes. There would be absolutely zero boos in Cody Rhodes' direction at any time up until WrestleMania. Yeah, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. A couple more things happened on the show. Cody did fight Baron Corbin after that because Baron was talking some shit about him because he interrupted his interview backstage, so that led to a match. Excuse me. That Baron Corbin lost, of course, because, like I said earlier, he's a loser. Yeah, nothing else really happened. There was a 6-woman tag team match between all the women in the Elimination Chamber. Who gives a shit? I don't like what they're doing with Asuka. You know what I mean? Even though she did get the pin in this match, which was cool, I definitely think she should be the one to face Bianca Belair. She should win the Elimination Chamber. That's why I'm glad they ain't put Becky or Bayley in it. But I don't want to see Asuka teaming with nobody, even though she locked in that fucking Rings of Saturn on fucking Liv Morgan and was not trying to let go. Liv Morgan tapping. The ref like, I can't see you. What are you tapping? What are you seeing? I can't see you. Your hand can't reach the ground. I'm gonna just sit here until you scream out pain. Liv like, bitch, I'm tapping. You don't see my hand moving? My fingers can't reach. She was wrenching her arm back far as shit, too. She was not letting that shit go. But shout out to Asuka. She better win that fucking match. Yeah, and that's about all that happened. Bronson Reed won a match. We had Seth Rollins being on Miz TV, in big red boots, which were trending on social media last night because that was pretty funny. He gave Miz the stump in those giant red boots. He is becoming a fashion icon. I ain't gonna lie, because this shit was fly last night. I would never in a million years wear those boots. Understand me. You would never catch me wearing no goofy shit like that. But it is style. It is fashion, even though a lot of this fashion shit I am not with now. You know what I mean? Even as a, high-end fashion designer myself, a lot of the shit that people wear, you know what I mean? A lot of shit that guys be putting on, I ain't about to put on or design. So, but I understand fashion and the trends and everything that's going, and those boots been trending for the last, couple weeks or whatever, few weeks. Kanye, I think Kanye's kind of responsible for making them shits hot a little bit, but I've seen so many different designs of those boots, but whatever. He came out looking like one of the Mario brothers by the feet, and gave the Miz a stomp. Yeah, and that was it. MVP still trying to put together the Hurt Business. Nothing else really happened on the show. So I said that Cody and Sami segment was literally everything. That was the entire show. That's the main thing everybody was talking about. Probably pretty much the only thing anybody was talking about after Monday Night Raw. The Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley segment was cool, I guess, but It is what it is, man. And that was Monday Night Raw for us. Check comments, see what y'all talk about. Let me go back a little bit. Oh Lord. They say Amos is gonna replace Bobin in the commercial, helping everybody with stuff on the top shelf. I said Sami Zayn should have won the Royal Rumble. He should have won the Rumble. Nah, man. Cody got it. Cody should have won the Rumble, but he should have won it differently. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have came out at 30. That was fucking stupid. He should have had to struggle. At least bring him out at like 27, 23 or something. You know what I mean? Let him struggle a little bit. But bringing him out at 27 and having him wrestle for 10 minutes and get the world title after being gone for 7 months was kind of a gaffe. And why he was not like receiving as much adulation as you want somebody in his position to get. But after last night, I think that's all said and that's all done. Cody is the fucking man now. I'm sold on him. I think everybody is sold on him. We all want to see Cody dethrone Roman Reigns. He's the one. You know what I mean? He is Neo in this situation. Cody Rhodes is or Homelander in Gruss's. Homelander is a terrible fucking person, man. He's a piece of shit. Why would he ask Cody Homelander? Gruss Sami should have won the Rumble, but that main event angle was top notch, so I will give him a pass. Yeah, it's too good. It's too good. Sami Zayn got to use his babyface NXT theme music this Saturday. He should go back to that. There's a lot of people that need to go back to their old music, including Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn. The irony that I like Dewdrop's music better when she was called Dewdrop. That song was dope. Now I think it's the same girl rapping, but the song is not as good. There's a few people, Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano. Who else got whack theme music now that they changed? They used to have good music and they changed it to some whack shit. There's a few people. Asuka being number one on my list right now because change her theme song back immediately. Like I could finally hear the lyrics on her new song, and I was like, nope, this ain't it, Jack. This ain't it, Jack. Get this shit out of here. So I want to hear I don't even know the words to her old theme song, but I know the melody. I know that shit crank. Come on, man. That shit bangs so fucking hard, man. Dun 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 dun. Why would you change that? Why? She just put on a different mask and face paint. Like, don't change something the shit that's working. Just because you want to fix it, you ain't got to change everything, my nigga. Like, it's a bad decision changing her theme song like that. I hate it. Cody might not want to bring his wife to my barbecue. She might get some of this slobber sauce. I'm sorry. Listen, if Brady come around me, I'm saying something too. I ain't listen, bro. I'm at least say hello in my real deep voice. What's good, man? I'm gonna lower my voice about 4 octaves and I'm gonna whisper some in their ear. You know what I mean? See what happens. See how things go from there. Cody Rhodes is a heel. He's Homelander. Okay, I mean, I guess he's Homelander. Homelander's a real piece of shit, man. Did you see what he did, man? He made that man eat his best friend in front of him. He's like, eat the octopus. Eat it. It's like, no, that's his friend. Oh, man, I was traumatized by that shit. I will never forget that. That was a traumatizing episode of The Boys. He made the Deep eat the squid, man. The squid was his friend, like literally his friend, because the Deep is like the Aquaman. If you don't watch the Boys, you should. If you don't watch The Boys, what the fuck? First of all, that shit is better than any Marvel movie you gonna watch, especially any Marvel movie made the last 5-6 years. Like The Boys crushed everything last year. It's the most watched comic book show on TV last year. Raquel Rodriguez will face Belair at WrestleMania. She's not hot enough. Not by physical appearance. Braun Strowman, please don't eat me. I mean, like as far as her heat and her attraction in the ring, I don't think she's there. I think it's got to be Asuka because they just did all this change, and she's supposed to be back to Killer Clown Asuka. She can't be losing matches. So who's gonna pin her in the elimination chamber? Out of the women that are in that match, Liv Morgan, who's good? Who's good? Fucking Natalia, who's gonna pin her? Shayna Baszler, she gonna pin her, and who's gonna pin her? Like Asuka winning the elimination chamber. I think this shit is all said and done. Raquel Rodriguez, is she even in it? She ain't even in it, is she? I don't think she. Yes, she is. She is in it. I'm tripping. But I don't. I mean, she could pull it out. I mean, she should be the favorite. I mean, she's a giant. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I got Asuka and Bianca at Mania. I heard Laylo did a photo shoot with the red boots and the Austin Theory shirt. I mean, hey, listen. What I want is Austin Theory's pecs. That's what I want, and his abs. I'll take his. Matter of fact, I'll take his biceps too. I don't want nobody. I don't want his shirt. Just give me the muscles. Cause soon as that dude come out, I'll be like, I'm going to the gym. I'm skinny and frail, and I look like shit. I can't. What's wrong with me? I immediately get depressed when I see Austin. I want to look like that. I want to look like that. I mean, no pause. Say pause, but dude got perfect body. Yeah, I mean, he's perfect. Like, I want to look like Austin Theory. I need his exact workout plan, exact diet. I know I'm not gonna be 6'2", but I mean, I'm 6 foot. That's close enough. I can still get like. Your man is sculpted. He's chiseled out of granite. You know what I mean? He's like Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. These dudes are just massive. Mad protein shakes, possibly roids. But Austin Theory just looks supernatural. Just like he just trains perfectly. You know what I mean? He does every exercise perfectly. Nice and slow. Get all the burn every time. I'm like, man, what is this dude doing? He looks like somebody drew him. So, that's why I think he's going to be good, man. He's going to have a fucking good career as long as he stays. He kind of reminds me of Randy Orton. Randy Orton wasn't that jacked, though. He's like, not even close. Randy Orton had the look, but he wasn't jacked like Austin Theory is. Austin Theory's arms look like fucking bowling balls. You know what I mean? It's like his fucking bicep muscle. That shit crazy. So, Lato should have a look, thrive to look like Lashley. Nah, Lashley too big, man. Lashley got actual titties. I don't want titties. Like Lashley. Lashley looked like the Black Michelin Man. Let's just not even play games like it's not true. He looks like the Black Michelin. Everything is a bubble. Like all his muscles are bubbles. I don't want to look like that. Like I want to be chiseled out of granite like Austin Theory. I want to look like that. You know what I mean? This nigga Bobby Lashley look like a fucking balloon. Yeah, I mean, a muscly balloon, but like, I'm good. That's too big. That's too much muscle. Yeah, I mean, too much muscle. Austin Theory versus John Cena. Yeah, I'm looking for it. Q, the content guy. What's cracking, man? Good to see you up in here, man. It's been a minute. I don't know. You probably was in here last week, man. I be smoking. Yeah, we definitely got to see Austin Theory versus John Cena. That's definitely happening. Damn, Laylo, I know it's Valentine's Day, but take it easy on your luck. Come on, man. Why y'all stop trying to play me, man? A little love for Austin Theory on Valentine's Day, man. I'm showing everybody love. Fuck Valentine's Day, man. Y'all know I'm an Austin Theory fan already, man. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get this dude props whenever I can. I'm rooting for him to do really good. I think he has a lot of potential. I think that he's showing that potential now. I think I'll ultimately be right about Austin Theory when it's all said and done because I've been on the Austin Theory train. Pause. And And, I'm just looking forward to what he does in the future. You know what I mean? I remember when Randy Orton first showed up, and I was like, yep, that's the guy. I knew it from the jump. I didn't know Batista was going to be as big as he was because I remember him with Devon before that. And I was just like, yeah, I remember you. All right, maybe. But Randy Orton just came in and hit the ground running, had the look, had the mic skills. He was ready to go. So I kind of got the same feeling with Theory and him having a long, 10, 15 career. 15-year career in pro wrestling. But that is all I got for you guys, man. And I am going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to keep it 100. We might end up streaming at this time all the time. I mean, clearly, there's more people available to watch the show live, which makes it more fun for me. Streaming in the daytime or when people are driving home is cool, but I like the show to be more interactive, man. And the more time, more we get more consistent crowds in this joint. And it's always when we do the late streams that we have, the most activity coming through the stream. So I think this, I don't know, man. I got to figure it out. This actually works for my schedule a lot better because my son is already asleep. I ain't got to worry about waking him up or watching him or, having to pick him up while I'm doing the show. Even though, he loves talking on the mic, and I know you guys like seeing little baby HD, but it's a lot easier to do these streams, and I don't have to jump off to go do anything. So I don't know. After 7 p.m., right? Yeah, after 7 p.m., like 7 p.m., like Pacific time, like West Coast time, or at least Central time. You know what I mean? Because 7 p.m. East Coast time, that's my time. It's still like 3 p.m. on the West Coast or 4 p.m., 3 or 4 p.m., whatever. So it's still early on the West Coast for the people that might be watching from the West Coast. I'm more concerned with the people in the States. So, West Coast people, I want to make sure I'm not on too early for them as well. If there's anybody watching out there, I know, Gruss is out in Texas. KGM's on he's on Eastern time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's down in Florida. So, yeah, I think it's better that we do these evening streams. Everybody's at home smoking weed, chilling, watching TV and shit, watching YouTube, doing whatever they do, relaxing after dinner. So it's a lot easier to come in and hang out for a stream. So, yeah, man. This might be the wave, man. I'm gonna talk to the guys today. Maybe it might make it easier for us to get Two-Face back on the show if we're doing a later stream as well. Because I know he's super busy with his new job. Two-Face is doing great with his new gig right now. So shout out to him doing voiceovers and all his audio stuff that he does. So he's flourishing right now. I'm happy for my dog. So maybe it'll be easier for him to jump back on the shows, and we can get the Friday nights, I can't do Friday nights. I work Friday nights now, but we could do the Monday evening streams because we would have to do it before Monday Night Raw. So maybe do like a 6:00 show on Mondays, and then on Thursdays and Tuesdays or whatever the other day. Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays we can do late night streams like this since I don't have to work and all that good stuff. So, we're still working out kinks, man. We still trying to get there. We still 450 subscribers away from being able to monetize the channel and really take off. But again, that is all on me. I need to be pumping out more content for you guys. Trying to figure out this schedule, man. It's tough. It's tough doing YouTube, man. I ain't gonna lie. But I love this shit. I ain't gonna lie. I love talking about pro wrestling. I'm passionate about it, as you guys know. I always will be. I've been watching this shit for 37 years. So I ain't about to stop now. So I was sitting there thinking about my YouTube journey and what I really want to do because I do a bunch of different channels on YouTube. I kind of spread myself thin. I focus on this one the most, though. But it's just like, what if I had to like write down my top 5 things that I'm passionate about that I would like to like talk about as a career? Like pro wrestling was number 1. I couldn't think of anything that I wanted to talk about more. I was like, the Raiders, maybe I start a Raiders channel and talk about football. Maybe I just cover all sports. Nope, I just want to talk about wrestling. Because there's so much shit going on. It's like I just read, there's like we did like 10 different news stories today and then talked about Monday Night Raw. There's a wrestling show on literally every day. I ain't talking about Impact or NXT. I ain't about to cover that bullshit, but they're on. You know what I mean? So it's already so much to talk about. There's always content to be made. There is a ceiling because there's only a certain amount of people who even care about pro wrestling. So there's the ceiling with that. And I've thought about that as well. But at the end of the day, I don't care. Wrestling fans are my tribe, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to rock with my tribe. Fuck the buddy. I want to be happy doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's what we going to do. We going to be here rocking with Wow Nation. Raiders channel would be depressing. Why you got to go there, Gruss? Why you got to go there? First of all, yes, it would be. You know what I mean? It would be very depressing. Just like a Cowboys channel. Stop playing with me. We're not even about to go there. You know what I mean? We're not even about to go. Dak Prescott. Yeah, I need to cut that. He got booed getting the Man of the Year trophy. How you get Man of the Year and get booed by your own fans? Get out of here. Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is Derek Carr. They the same person. Like, stop playing with me. They are literally the same person. Shit, if they tried to sign Dak to the Raiders, I'd be like, no, please, no, don't do it. Fourth quarter interceptions. We just had that. We don't need it again. It's like, come on, man. Jags beat both. Yeah, he did, man. Jags had a great season, man. I became a fan of the Jags this year, man. I like Trevor Lawrence. I like their receiving core. I like they tight end. I like ETN. I like their defense. I like Jacksonville, man. They got a good squad, man. They got a good squad. They'll be one of those underdog teams that I root for, like the Bengals used to be, and now they're one of the big dogs. So I got to root against them because I want the Raiders to be in that spot. I'm a hater. But try making small 10, 15-minute videos. A big YouTube told me to help build your channel. Yeah, that's the key, Q. That's really the key. And it don't even take a lot of work. Like, I could just chop up I'm doing a 2-hour podcast right now. I could make 10 YouTube videos out of this show. And that's pretty much what everybody else on YouTube does, and just makes content for people who don't want to sit here and scrub through a 2-hour podcast to figure out which parts they want to listen to. Just upload the clips. But I got 5,000 things going on. I'm going through a fucking crazy-ass child custody case with a psychopath. I have a lot of things going on in my life. My mom is sick. Trav just lost his mom. Like, physics, just got married, so he's got Two-Face got a whole nother job. It's just so much going on that we can't. But I'm not making any excuses at all, because I told y'all that that's what I was going to do, and I'm going to give y'all as much content as I possibly can. And I swear on my life, and I don't do that often, but once everything is situated and my mental health is in order, you know what I mean, where it needs to be, even before that, I'm going to start getting the ball rolling on making sure that we can get this channel popping, man, because we doing fire content over here. You know what I mean, the shit look good. I got a $2,000 camera, a $1,000 lens. I got all lights. You see the studio. You know what I mean? This shit is flawless. You know what I mean? My studio is beautiful. You know what I mean? So we not about to act like I ain't got one of the best setups of all the content creators. I'm pretty sure my setup is better than JD's because his shit is green screen. You know what I mean? So somebody made his for him. You know what I mean? I had to buy all this shit. So, Baby HD needs to start editing for me. Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. He already know how to use the keyboard. Hey, man, my kid doing he working on he can say the ABCs, but they don't sound like he just be saying ba. He be trying. He knows them. He just try to get it out, but he can count to 5 now. You know what I mean? He said, I love you yesterday, like the whole line. Like, the kid he's like a borderline genius. I got tested for being gifted when I was very young at 5 years old. I failed the test kind of on purpose. I still remember to this day because they did it to my friend the year before, and he was riding the short bus the next year. They were supposed to be the smart kids, but they were on the short bus, and I didn't want to be that kid. So I went in, they were like, yeah, can you do these puzzles and these quizzes? And I was like, I don't understand. You're not putting my girlfriend in the 5th grade. I was dating the cutest girl in the 5th grade. Her name was Tiffany Jackson. And I had Tracy McCray, who was the other cutest black girl in my class in the 5th grade. And they both liked me. And I wasn't trying to leave the school. They were trying to put me on the short bus and send me to the nerd school. And I wasn't having it. Probably set myself back in life doing that. 5th grade. I didn't know what I was doing then. I might have ended up going to MIT instead of fucking Lincoln University in Howard. Shout out to the HBCUs. But I was like, hell no, they put my boy. And he looked like a nerd. He had glasses and shit. I was like, hey, man, I'm too cool for that shit, man. I like girls, man. I'm trying to stay with the girls. That's my fucking problem now. That's how I got myself in the situation I'm in. Being cool ain't all it's cracked up to be, man. Hey, be a nerd, kids. Be a fucking nerd. They're the ones who get rich. The cool kids end up working for the nerds. Just be a nerd. Go study, learn books, read books, fuck with computers and tech. Be a fucking nerd. Ain't shit out but cool about being cool. That shit is played out. You know what I mean? Watch wrestling. Shit. And if a girl won't date you because you watch wrestling, you lucked up. You know what I mean? You dodged the bullet. You know what I mean? She ain't a real one. You know what I mean? Every girl that dates me knows she's gonna eventually be a wrestling fan. It's just part of the gimmick. You're gonna be over here, you watching wrestling, bitch. Don't stop. It is what it is. Get used to it. So it is what it is, man. I appreciate y'all. You guys got that Gruss booking. Facts. Yeah, I mean, facts. Oh man, but I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy, man. For a 2-hour stream, man. How often do we get to do a 2-hour stream? I like this late night shit. It's midnight. I'm gonna go fucking take a shower and you know what I mean, finish my J, take a shower, go get to bed, get some good rest, wake up at 7 a.m. I got a long day tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys, you know what I mean, being in here. As always, KGM said no cap. I wanted a girl in high school named Tiffany Jackson. She didn't want me in school, but wanted to holler after school when she got pregnant with twins in high school. Sheesh. Ain't that the way it go, man? Ain't that the way it go? The wall comes for them all. They always want you when they down, but when they up and you regular, deemed as regular, that's when they be trying to play you, man. That's crazy. You know what? That's actually funny because when my Tiffany Jackson, she didn't want me until she found out the other cute girl in the class wanted me. Then she wanted to date me, and I dated her because I thought she was cuter, but then I dated Tracy for afterwards for longer. She was my girlfriend because she was cooler. Like she wasn't as super popular as Tiffany. All the guys wanted Tiffany. You know what I mean, it was all wanted her. Tracy was like the second in line, but she was a couple notches behind Tiffany. I don't know how I remember all this from 5th grade. It's ridiculous. I remember who I dated in 6th grade. I don't know how I remember. I don't even remember the girl I met 2 months ago. I don't even how do I remember shit from 5th grade? That shit is crazy, man. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. What's today? Today is Tuesday. So yeah, I'll see you guys. Oh yeah, shit. Elimination Chamber predictions. We got Super High Travis Sly going up against the Doctor of AKAs Physics. Going head to head for predictions. We're gonna be doing that Thursday. We're gonna be doing it around the same time. I'll hop on around 7, 8 o'clock, something like that. We'll do the AEW Dynamite review and catch up on all the news. Then we'll do the predictions. So Thursday night, get ready for another long ass stream. You know what I mean? We'll be here locked in. So hit the like button, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so you're notified when we go live, because it is sporadic. We be live on the same day most of the time, but the times be a little iffy. You know what I mean? When you're a single dad, it's kind of, gotta be a pops, so gotta do what I gotta do. But just hit that noti bell and you'll get the notification we go live if YouTube does us right, and you guys can join us for the next show. But I appreciate you guys as always. Wild Nation gang gang. See you on the next one. Deuces.